All right, Obi, thanks very much. And here at Cintas Center, 2-2 early on, and it has been scrappy underneath. Gonzaga banging on the offensive glass, and Holloway pulls up and buries the jumper. Guards against guards, going to be interesting tonight, Alfonso.
The young guards of Gonzaga playing against one of the most experienced, and I would argue one of the top backcourts in all the country in Holloway and Mark Lyons.
Oh, Walker gets a block on Harris, and it's Mark Lyons the other way. Wells kicked out of bounds, and it'll stay with Xavier. All right, one-on-one, and we talked about the contrast and experience between these backcourts.
Well, Kevin Pangos gives you deep three-point shooting. Garrett Bell, tough defender, but can put it on the floor, get to the rim. My concern is playing against one of the best backcourts in all the country in Holloway and Mark Lyons. Can they hold up, especially on the road?
Terrell Holloway, third-team All-America last year, Player of the Year in the Atlantic 10, and 2 is some kind of player. Here's Lyons now at the rim and at Sacre. Freeze rebound and put back.
When the bigs step up to help that way, John, you have to get a weak side sag in to take that big off the offensive boards. Good read by Kenny Freeze.
Goes towards the rim, and he's fouled. Holloway charged with that one. First on Holloway, first on Xavier. Des Wells back after that 4-game suspension. Of course, the fight against Cincinnati, they ended up losing Holloway for 1 game. They lost that game. They lost Mark Lyons to suspension for 2 games. Overall, Xavier went 1-3 in those 4 games.
I spoke with Holloway today about the importance of Desmond Wells. He told me that Desmond Wells brings an edge to this basketball club defensively. He's explosive out in transition, and they've really missed him, particularly on the defensive end.
Well, you saw Chris Mack in his 3rd year, and I think he's very confident about what's going to happen going forward with his team. And Holloway as well, echoing that confidence.
The issue is, can they get that nasty edge back? Not with elbows and fists, but with good, strong defense and rebounding the basketball.
He's squaring up on Harris as a size advantage. Holloway is fouled, and they're going to stay on the floor. For Gonzaga, Mark Few, his 13th season as the head coach of the Zags, and 2nd in coaching, minimum 5 seasons in active winning percentage. Only Roy Williams is better, and what an amazing job that he has done. They won 24 games in each of their last 14 seasons. Holloway, or I should say Lyons, at the rim, couldn't hit. Let's see what we have right here. They get a foul on Lyons. So number 1 Lyons, the junior from Schenectady to New York.
They can't afford for either Holloway nor Mark Lyons to get into foul trouble, because those 2 guys really fuel their offense.
Mike Hart, a walk-on. Gritty type of player. Kind of made the team in open tryouts. Pangos now, finds Hart, and buries a jumper.
Something that they worked on, trying to drag that big man across on the ball screen and looking for the kickback.
And Hart fouls Freeze. Did a good job setting this up for Hart.
Watch the nice ball screen by Robert Sacre, and then you have to dump in and help here, and that leaves that wide open jump shot open from the wing. That'll be available all night long because of the aggressiveness with Gonzaga's, or with Xavier's defense.
Lyons. And Harris the rebound. Pangos looking to push as Wells went down. Bell let it taken away by Lyons. Walker. And they say offensive foul.
one of the concerns going into this game for Mark Few is could they get back and prevent this team from exploding in transition. Guietti did a terrific job of getting back and getting established and absorbing that charge.
Guy Landretti with his feet outside that restricted area. Harris facing up.
Got away with the walk there, John Shambi.
Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Zags. Yeah, the fans wanted that call. Elias Harris, the junior from Germany, in much better shape this year. Last season, a bit of a disappointment, although he was not entirely healthy.
Shoulder injury, Achilles strain, just not quite himself. And I'll tell you, John, for those guys who go and play all summer long games, you don't get any better. You get better when you're working on your fundamentals in the gym daily. He did that this summer, and I think that's been the difference in his game so far.
And he can do that as well as hit the glass. Steps out, and Gonzaga on an 8-0 run.
They were concerned about the foot speed, particularly with Mark Lyons getting to the basket. So far in this game, the Zags have done a great job of getting into that painted area off the bounce.
Bell on Holloway. Gary Bell Jr. knocked it away, and it ends up with Sacre.
The best perimeter defender for the Zags is guarding to Holloway. And that's Gary Bell Jr.
Wells loses the basketball, but it'll stay with Xavier.
We talked about Elias Harris working on his game during the summers. He's so good down in the box area. Quick first step, but the area he's greatly improved is his perimeter jump shot, as you saw there.
Back here at Cintas Center, Gonzaga 10, Xavier 6. John Shambi, LaFonso Ellis, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your time. And here tonight, great matchup. The Xavier Musketeers, of course, with that brawl against Cincinnati. And well, the past 4 games, 1-3, but finally now everybody's back.
They've lost their edge defensively, John, and that's one of the things that they're really going to have to work on. With Dez being out of the lineup, it took away their intensity defensively. He's explosive in transition. With him back now on the floor, now it's a matter of developing that chemistry once again that they had before the suspensions.
Yeah, guarding people a big problem. Again, the numbers averaged allowing about a dozen more points per game over this 4-game stretch, and shooting percentage allowed went up about 10%. So now Wells is back, and a guy who's athletic, explosive, and you talk about at 6'5", 215, that is not the body of an 18-year-old.
Used to be a defensive back in our day, John.
Yep. Yeah, Tu Holloway said that. I said, man, he's pretty strong. He said, yeah, it looks like he should be in the NFL. Lyons now, quick to the rim, and it rolls in. He wanted the foul.
At times, when Gonzaga shows on the outside, especially with their bigs, there'll be mismatches with the guards. Mark Lyons read that mismatch with Robert Sacre and did what you should do, put your head down and get to the rim.
Sacre was looking for Bell with a backdoor cut.
I think the Zags got to find a way to get the basketball into Robert Sacre. He's so good down in that low post area.
Bell can't hit, and there's Walker with the board. Holloway kicks to the corner. And Walker rebounds the Wells miss. Travis Taylor, the transfer from Monmouth, is checked in, sets a screen. Lyons. Mark Lyons, the junior, off to a good start tonight.
Have to pick him up and find him. He's 41% from the three-point line.
And Gonzaga back the other way with Elias Harris.
Gonzaga had some really good success here so far in this game with putting it on the deck and getting to the rim.
Lyons again. Wells came flying in, and he's charged with the foul.
Mark Lyons is a very balanced basketball player. He has a high motor, really wants to get to the rim on anyone who's out there, whether it be a guard or a big man. But where he's grown in his game, John, is he's really worked on his range and is comfortable shooting from deep. Holloway is always looking for him off dribble penetration.
The Lions and Holloway are very close, practice together a lot. There's a friendly competition between the two of them as well. Eddie pulls up. Eddie, offensive rebound, goes right at the rim and throws it down.
Eddie's one of the most athletic players on this Gonzaga team. Can really finish when he gets in the painted area. When I talked to Chris Mack before this game, he wanted to run multiple ball screens in their sets to try to get Gonzaga's bigs moving around to create some angles to get to the basket.
Holloway scoops and one. You know, you use the word to describe him, creative, and you saw it right there.
To Holloway, he's just so good off the bounce, and because of his balanced game, John, you have to respect his jump shot. And just when you come closer, he's able to get to the rim. We talked about Eddie's influence on this team. He's athletic. He's really learning to play and getting comfortable out there on the floor. But when you can bring that kind of athleticism to an already good Gonzaga team, it makes them a much deeper team to be able to defend.
Gonzaga by one as Holloway will try and complete the three-point play. I mentioned the competition between Holloway and Mark Lyons, and reporter asked Holloway, who wins in a game of horse between you two? And he said, well, is there dunking? He said, because if there's no dunking, then I win. And Mark Lyons responded, yeah, he can't jump over a credit card. Dogging his buddy out. Two outstanding players, one of the top backboards in the entire nation. And Harris is fouled on the floor. Well, Tuesday night coverage of college basketball continues. A pair of conference matchups on ESPN2 and ESPNU. Number 17 Michigan State against number 11 Wisconsin, and then number 4 Louisville will take on St. John's. 7 Eastern, both of them, ESPN2 and ESPNU.
Yeah, Draymond Green is just outstanding, John. He's the best passing big man in all the nation, but he's starting to get some support now from their front line with Nix, who's able to catch it down on the low block area and score, something that he hasn't had in his last 2 years.
Pangos working on D. Davis as Holloway sits with 2 fouls. Harris, and they get him for the travel.
Without Robert Sacre in the game, they're going to look to try to get Elias Harris touches in the post area, but because he's such an improved shooter, John, they're able to give it to him in the elbow area, and he's able to attack from there. Watch the post up for Kenny Freeze if they can get it there. Gonzaga doing a really good job of pressuring the basketball, making those passing angles a lot longer.
Freeze going to work against Dower. Harris the board.
Kenny Freeze really wants to get over the left shoulder, John, not the right, when he struggles when he's going over his right, but shoots a high percentage when he's shooting that hook shot over his left shoulder to the middle.
Pangos, good interception. Stepped in front. He's Carter here. Floater wouldn't go. A one-point game as we close in on the 11-minute mark. Taylor, and that one banks home.
If he can continue to improve, he gives this Xavier team something that they don't have, which is a guy that they can throw it to consistently down the post and make a move.
Timeout on the court. And coming up, we'll talk about the consistency of these two programs. You know, when you talk about consistency, you start with Butler. Amazing work, runner-up last 2 years. Mark Few's team has won the West Coast Conference 11 consecutive seasons. And here at Xavier, whether it's Pete Gillen, Thad Matta, Sean Miller, now Chris Mack, the Musketeers, 10 appearances in the NCAA tournament in the last 11 years. Look at these three programs. They're a handful to deal with in the NCAA tournament and certainly during the regular season as well.
John, what they've been able to do is something that most non-Power 6 schools don't have. Most non-Power 6 schools are really guard-oriented, and they really break you down. They use the three-point shot in transition.